I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Oh, I see how it is. Go Chiefs.
So carbon footprint sustainability is the goal. That is what you hear about all the time right now, and that you're being bombarded daily through the TV, print media. Everything you hear right now is about sustainability. The goal is to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions by humans. So if we only have 114 100,000ths of 1% of CO2 emissions into the atmosphere, why are they focusing so much on that? Because they're wanting to eliminate our use of personal vehicles and to stop using natural resources such as oil and natural gas. So John Holbrun is the Director of White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. His goal is to de-develop the United States through political effort. He is using ICLEI and sustainability goals to do that. Once you join ICLEI, you get access to toolboxes, and these toolboxes are some of the most damaging documents that local governments are using right now. One that we just experienced in Fort Collins, they were considering mandating that all private businesses and homes install sprinkler systems like we have in here. That would have increased the cost of building a home between $4,000 and $10,000. That is something that, especially during these times, most people simply can't afford it.
What is their end game with that? To fire out faster so it produces less carbon?
No, their goal is that's a good way
The goal
to
is to get us to get flood insurance whether we live on a mountain or in the valley.
The goal is to make building and developing almost impossible. So it's to increase the cost so that it's more difficult for businesses and homeowners to own their own property.
Okay.
Where are they supposed to live?
In high-density housing, multi-use buildings.
The goal is to get us all to commit suicide so we can leave the planet to the animals.
So another thing that's interesting is bicycling advocacy groups are using sustainability plans, climate action plans, to accomplish their personal goals. And a lot of times you think these bicycle groups are environmentalists. They're thinking, wow, you know, we need to stop driving. But actually what they're doing is using the plans to benefit their own priorities.
Emphasize the word mental when you say that.
Yes. A great reference book is called Green Hill by Steve Malloy. This is a photo on the Colorado State University campus. It's called the Center for Environmental Management of Military Lands.
What?
So we have an entire building that's dedicated to manage our military lands. Windmill farms are actually interfering with radar effectiveness and our ability to monitor nuclear explosions. The ICLEI and their friends are worried about the carbon footprint that tanks are leaving, so they're currently working on
the only carbon footprint we should be worried about is cleaning the barrels after we fire it.
They're currently working on lighter armor for our tanks, so obviously that's going to increase the risk to our military personnel. The Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007 bans our military from purchasing domestic oil sources. So let's talk about recycling. I say it's all garbage. Recycling is actually a complete process. Recycling does not occur when you place your plastic bottle in the bin at curbside. Recycling means you have to change that product into a new product that has been purchased and used again. Most recycled products are much more expensive because there are so many steps to breaking down and remaking that product, and because the toxic chemicals they release into the environment are very costly to manage. Less than 30% of glass is actually recycled, so you can have an entire bin full of glass. Most of it ends up in a landfill anyway. Newsprint is a valuable commodity right now, except when you have to take the ink off, the sludge that is produced by removing that ink and remaking the paper is also a major toxin. So plastic. Plastic is one of the most common items you see in a recycling bin. How much is 1 ton of plastic worth right now? Take a guess. 1 ton of plastic. That's about 20,000 16-ounce water bottles.
Euros or dollars?
Excuse me?
No.
1 ton, take a guess.
3 cents.
About 3 cents per
3
ton.
cents.
1 ton of plastic is worth between 3 and 10 cents right now. So where does it go once you put it in your bin? It's shipped to Denver, and then they collect large amounts there. They put them on containers and ship them to China. So we ship them to China. Think about the carbon footprint of that. We're shipping all of our plastic to China. They burn it or grind it once it gets there to either dispose of or remake into other products. CFLs in the environment. This little light bulb right here, if I were to drop it in this room and it would break, we would have to evacuate. The entire building would have to be evacuated. The reason for that is the mercury they use inside, once it drops and breaks, it's dispersed into the environment. If this breaks on a carpet, you actually have to cut the carpet out and replace it. So a lot of people don't know actually what this mercury is doing when it's in your home. An interesting thing is that these produce something called dirty energy. And dirty energy is when you have, instead of having a smooth line, if you're measuring energy, the CFLs actually have their energy where they spike and they drop. So instead of having this going on, it's dropping and spiking a lot. What that's doing is causing havoc with people's immune systems. And if you're diabetic, they're actually showing that it increases the blood sugar levels. So this can cause rash, it can mess with your immune system, and it's considered a household hazardous waste. So you're not allowed legally to throw this in the trash. You actually have to drive this to a recycling area or facility that will accept you as recycled products. They are made in China. The reason for that is they have less health and safety standards there. They can produce them cheaper, even though these still cost 5 to 10 times more than an incandescent light bulb. The last incandescent light bulb factory in the United States was closed in the last month. And if you go to the stores now, you can notice that incandescent light bulbs are disappearing. In 2012, they will be banned completely. So if you are concerned about your lighting choices, stock up now.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing.
So who belongs to ICLEI? Approximately 1,200 local governments. In Colorado, we have about 25 local communities who have joined. Fort Collins has been a member for 17 years. Loveland joined 2 years ago.
Just to be clear, ICLEI doesn't publish their member list, do they?
They did until recently, and it's really difficult to find right now. ICLEI is a very quiet organization. They don't like to actually be mentioned publicly. So once these presentations started becoming known, the list disappeared off of their website. So you can find archived lists, but there aren't current lists right now. And if you look for them, it'll say they're currently updating the list, but that's been going on for months.
Okay.
So I also, as I was researching this, I thought, there seems like there's an awful lot more communities that belong to ICLEI, but that they weren't listed. So I found a document that shows how many individual mayors have signed up with ICLEI, and that totals around 1,200 mayors in the United States. So Arvada is interesting. I did a presentation there a couple months ago, and I always like to research what's happening in a local community. And sadly, I found out that Arvada is beginning the same process to take over their private trash haulers as Fort Collins did. And it turns out that Fort Collins, the City of Fort Collins employee who was leading the trash takeover in Fort Collins, is helping the City of Arvada take over their trash businesses. There are 12 privately owned trash businesses in Arvada, and the City of Arvada, under ICLEI's guidance, their goal is to eliminate all but one. The damage that does to the local economy is fabulous. Unbelievable to lose 11 private companies that employ hundreds of people that are responsible for thousands of paychecks. Johnstown, Colorado, they're recalling the mayor right now because the local business owners did not want their parking design to be changed. They had diagonal parking, and now they have parallel parking. So under the direction of sustainability consultants, they have redesigned downtown Johnstown. If you have a chance, drive through there. It's truly stunning what they have done to those local business owners. 3 businesses have closed. There are a couple more on the edge of closing, truly because of the sustainability goals. So what do these sustainability consultants and Chubby Checker have in common? These are 3 of the most powerful sustainability consultants that you are paying with taxpayer dollars: Clarion, Brindle, and Keziah Watkins. Synthesize, lie. So Chubby Checker has that great song, Let's Do the Twist. Sustainability consultants twist your comments, and these are made, if you attend public meetings and you offer comments on what you want to see for your city's long-term goals, they will actually twist what you say into making it sound like you want what they want. This is documented evidence of how a city can restate what you say you want for your business or your home.
Sounds a lot like my 3 kids in Walmart.
Westminster, Colorado, they're using eminent domain to claim Westminster Mall. The way they did this was they redeveloped the utilities up to the property line of the mall. That made it very difficult for the mall to attract and keep tenants because they were having mainly water problems. So I went down to the Westminster Mall to see if it truly was a blighted area, took photos, could not believe the condition of the mall. It's pristine. It puts any mall in Colorado to shame. These owners care about their mall. The landscaping is fabulous. There isn't a single scratch on any glass. It's truly amazing. So why does the city of Westminster want to claim this through eminent domain?
Sales tax revenue.
Sales tax revenue, and they want to buy, their plans are to demolish the entire mall and build a high-density mixed-use community. That means they will have a live, work, play building instead of a mall. So instead of...
Like Southland.
Yes. Instead of having a place where you can buy goods and services, you will be able to live in the building you work in and also play there. That reduces your need for any personal vehicle use. Luckily, the mall is actually suing Westminster, so that'll be interesting to watch how that turns out. ICLEI has the Cool Mayor Club. That's for the mayors who have signed individual agreements with the United Nations saying that they will pursue these foreign goals. Mayor Hickenlooper has been named a Cool Mayor for his work on global warming. Obviously, he's a candidate for governor. That's critical because if he is elected, he will bring these policies to the entire state. What is he doing right now? He's working on a pay-as-you-drive program. Pay-as-you-drive is where you will be charged per mile or per minute for the time that you were in your car. The way he'll enforce that is by setting the rates